Welcome back to the Porchcast. It's podcasts on the porch. That's what we call it, the Porchcast. Christian, how are you doing way over there?
It's not on the porch.
I know that's the. So you still have to kind of like say the thing, right? Like I feel like even for like special episodes, like when the SpongeBob and or like when they would do like crossover episodes with Nickelodeon, they would like do a mishmash of the different theme songs. So I felt like we still had to have like the heart of the Porchcast here. You know what I mean? Like the idea behind it remains.
Yeah, man, I'm nervous being on video. I'm not used
It's
to
so
this.
different. I can't usually see myself.
hmm
What is your background?
The death of Marat, the
For
French.
our audio listeners, the death of Marat is.
It's a
This is the
painting.
first time where we'll be able to post a YouTube video, though. That's not just the Porchcast logo.
We did the one where we had the food challenges. Remember that?
That's true. We had my camera on top of a lawn chair, and we also have the unreleased cocktail instructions
Yeah, that video is okay.
to remain unreleased, most likely. I don't.
I'm trying to figure out how I want to sit right now.
Really, that's the nice thing. That's like I'm sitting in my computer chair, so I'm just kind of sitting forward as if I was streaming. I kind of feel it. I'm like in front of the computer. I could see my two screens. It feels like I'm streaming.
All right, I think I figured it out.
What'd you go with?
I'm sitting crisscross applesauce with my right hand underneath my left thigh.
Oh, interesting. I can see that actually.
Mm-hmm.
I can kind of see that part. Um, okay, let's get into the reasons why what's going on, because our audio listeners are like, this sounds the same. Me and Christian are doing a socially distant version of the Porchcast this week. So we are on Zoom. We have our microphones.
Zoom.
Zoom. We're ready to go still. So the heart of the Porchcast is here, and obviously the soul of the Porchcast is here, us. It's just the mechanics look different. What do you think about all that?
I'm having a good time, all things considered, trying something new, which is we've wanted to do video for a while, but this isn't like how we wanted to do it,
I know. I think that we both obviously know that the ultimate goal would be to be pretty much exactly this, but just right across the table from each other.
Yeah.
Which makes
IRL.
this makes it seem more doable, honestly, of like how we have it going today. Like having two cameras at us, having two mics at us, and then figuring out a way to bring it all together is all it really takes. And then I obviously want to be able to like share stuff on our screen and stuff.
This is fine.
No, it's fine. It's comfy.
I'm
It's
comfy.
not cold.
And being inside is way better because we've solidified the Porchcast as a brand now, so it's no longer totally necessary for us to actually be outside, I think.
Yeah, no, exactly. And who would want to be outside in today's climate? In more ways than one.
It's the 7th.
Today is the 7th of January. Things changed a lot on the 6th of January, to say the least.
Yeah. What did you think about that?
So yesterday, terrorists obviously stormed the Capitol. I thought it was terrifying. I think that that's like the number one thing that I felt is fear of like how scary it is that, and I think that like some outlets got like a little carried away with it, but you see like other countries and you see this kind of stuff happen, and you think it'll never happen here. And obviously it was super scary to have that happen here yesterday. It was super unlike our country. And I think that the biggest thing for me is like, we like to say, nobody supports that. And, everybody is saying that that's bad. And you can certainly say that, and a lot of people are, but 71 million people voted for that guy or something like that. I don't know the exact number. So it just has to be some proportion of the people that voted for him that are in support of this. So what is it? 10%, 7 million people? Is it that small, or is it bigger than that? Which it probably is, that are at least tolerant of this behavior, maybe not in support of it. So that's really what I thought about, is like how many of our neighbors support that, and we don't even know it. That's kind of the scariest thing for me. What did you think?
I don't know where to begin. Uh, honestly, I think we should go at a high level. They attempted a physical coup. They failed. They caused property damage, and one woman died for nothing, and one woman died at the Capitol for absolutely nothing, and then three other people died as a result of the events yesterday. Also died for absolutely nothing, uh, and their actions ultimately expedited the ceremonial process of counting the electoral votes, which had already been cast. So they failed ultimately.
Yeah, I mean they got less people to support their whatever you want to call it. I don't want to call it a cause. I don't want to call it a movement. Whatever, maybe a coup. Honestly, is like the best word for it. But it really fucking sucked, dude. It was really sad. It was really, really, really dark. And I think that America and American news outlets are pretty guilty of hyperbole a lot, especially when stuff like this happens. I don't know if I feel that way this time. This time felt really bad. It was just a really
Yeah,
bad
I
day.
mean, there's so many things to consider. How the president nurtured this and allowed it to happen by setting up. Well, he didn't agree with the result of the election that he did win, so of course he's not going to
Mm-hmm.
agree with the result of the election that he lost. He's sowing discontent, lies, and sets up his rally up the street from the Capitol. He knows what he did. He
Mm-hmm.
knows what he was doing, and yeah, the variation in the response between right wing terrorism, and left wing peaceful protest, at the very least, is horrifying. The police uh, are overwhelmingly ideologically consistent with these people, which is why ultimately we see the result that we do.
It was like they let them in.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they're the same people. That's why. Um, that's disturbing. We need police reform, uh, but that's beside the point. I think. Uh, the one thing I wanted to talk about, because my main takeaways is how, think about Hillary Clinton, how unpopular she was, how she beat Trump with 3 million votes. Think about Joe Biden, who is a stronger candidate than Hillary, but still is not a particularly inspiring candidate, in my opinion. 7 million votes. We don't need these people. We literally don't, in more ways than one. We don't need them to win elections, and we don't need them as a civilized society. So if we get rid of the Electoral College, the Republican Party is going to need to uh, learn how to actually come up with popular policy in order to win elections, which will ultimately be a good thing, I think. I mean, whether that happens or not, we'll see. But
Yeah,
what do you think?
no, and I mean, you're right. I'm trying to think, but I think three of the last four presidents won the popular vote, or I think both Donald Trump and I guess in Bush's first term, he also lost the popular vote, also a Republican. So I mean, it happens all the time. Um, I don't know how much. I mean, I don't know if I want to say I don't know how much I hold the rest of the party culpable. Obviously, they're culpable for enabling Trump. I don't think that most Republican lawmakers and politicians think that yesterday represented Republican values and conservative values. I really, really, really don't.
Right, but
Um,
ask them who they voted for.
I know, no, I know, and that's absolutely, and Trump's the ultimate villain. And if you enable a villain and you allow a villain to exist and you vote for a villain, which is something else entirely, then you are still culpable of the actions that come from that person. And there is no doubt about it. This is Donald Trump's fault. he curated this. He put it all together, and Donald Trump has this absolutely crazy quality about himself that blows my mind, but he manages to make every situation, no matter how easy, quote unquote, it is, to do the right thing and to make it go away or be okay, he always manages to make it worse. And when he went on video and said, "We love you and we know how you feel, and like it's okay, but go home," it's like it's the worst thing I've ever seen. It's laughable while still continuing to prod at this exact base with the unfound claims about the election fraud. It's just the
A
worst
lot.
video I've ever seen, and it made it worse.
Yeah, where was this sympathy and affection for the protesters who were peacefully demonstrating their issue with public executions by police in this country? No, his response to that was gassing them and shooting them with rubber bullets, pepper spraying them. Also, he could stage a photo op with a Bible, which is a religious document which he does not live his life by. He's never read the book. He's not religious. He doesn't go to church, but he's okay with assaulting, brutalizing people in order to project that he does whatever. I don't know, whatever that meant.
I know, and I mean, you mentioned that 4 people died, and that is horrible. I heard law enforcement was injured, which is also horrible. But I think about what you said, and about I've been hearing it a lot too. If this was a Black Lives Matter protest, or something that was more incongruent with the how do I even say that word?
Ideological
Mindset of police officers, the deaths would not have been 4. I really, really don't think so. If the same situation would have occurred a couple months ago, I don't think that the police would have gotten away with just killing 4 people, because that's honestly pretty low considering that hundreds of people stormed the Capitol and someone sat at Nancy Pelosi's desk. That's crazy.
Well, you wouldn't want to harm your allies either. It's really that simple,
I know, of course we agree with that, and of course we understand that, but it makes me, and I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but it surprises me that there's still probably going to be people out there that see this double standard play out in real time and don't understand what it means, what needs to be done about it. They just don't understand.
Well, right. And that's horrifying. It's deeply disturbing. It's demented. It's a testament to the mental health crisis in this country, the education problems that we have in this country. However, we can't, if we were going to be able to reason with these people, it would have happened by now.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate in a certain way, which I don't even know if I want to use that word, Biden's desire to bring people together, but it's naive and it's dishonest. It's not going to happen. Republican politicians are not going to compromise with him. Compromising with them means doing whatever they want. That's what that means. And the cultists and the terrorists that acted yesterday, there's a lot of those people that weren't there, and you're not going to reason with them. And my point is that we don't have to, because there's so many more of us than them. All it takes is getting rid of the Electoral College. That's it.
And even then, Christian, I mean, I know Donald Trump's victory was 4 years ago. Before that, Obama won pretty handily in 2 elections, and I think Joe Biden won the Electoral College pretty handily in this election. He turned Arizona, he turned Georgia, and it could just be that there's more of us everywhere, and that might ultimately happen to where the last 4 years imprint such a stain on that party and on that ideology that there are more of us everywhere, and we're able to even overcome the Electoral College. I'd probably still prefer a popular vote. I understand, I understand the thought process behind the Electoral College, but I don't know who's in charge of setting those numbers, and so I don't trust it. Like how, like I that's where I get nervous and don't understand it. Whereas a popular vote, straight up, and there's no, you can't interfere at all. It's just a straight up number. It's super objective. I don't know how they come up with the numbers for the Electoral College. I get it's somewhat representative, and you can pretty much win an election based off of just California, but I don't know. I don't understand how it's even devised in the first place, and that's what makes me not trust it and rather go for the popular vote anyway.
Exactly, dude. I think that's it's that cut and dry, really. I mean, that solves a lot of our problems, which, like I said, I mean, the Republicans would have to come up with a whole new identity, which might happen regardless of the Electoral College, because Trump is going to remain the leader of the Republican Party. And if he wants to use that influence to bring his party together, then that's, one thing that he could do. Or if he wants to use that influence to destroy it, he could do that too. Which is why we have the senators that were reelected still remaining consistent with what he says, because they know that he's still in charge of the Republican Party, even though he's an outgoing president.
And some felt enough pressure yesterday evening to defect a little bit. Some, not all, which is mind blowing. The fact that people still went up there and
their words mean nothing.
I know. It's honestly more. That's why it's the fact that their words mean nothing makes it worse to me. Like the fact that there was no reason to contest. There was no reason to come out in opposition. You were never going to win, and it was purely a symbolic act. To go through with that symbolic act after what happened yesterday, again, because those words have no meaning at all, makes it hurt worse. It makes it look so much worse to me that they were still willing to go through with a pointless act to ignite a base that just that day attacked them. It's crazy.
Yeah, I'm so tired, dude, of these people, and I'm tired beyond that of treating them like they're serious people when they're not. See, because we're thoughtful and reasonable people, we're trying to attribute logic and reason to situations that lack logic and reason. These cultists and the politicians that they elect, they're not serious people. They're not good faith actors, and we shouldn't treat them as such. They should face the full penalty of law, really. I think everyone involved yesterday should be sentenced to life in prison, maybe with the possibility of parole.
Yeah, and I mean,
especially Ted Cruz, Lindsey Graham, Jim Jordan, all the people that fomented distrust in the electoral system. They should all go to jail.
Do you think Donald Trump should go to jail for sedition?
I would go a lot further than that. If for no other reason, him lying about coronavirus when he knew what it was early on, him getting caught on tape for that's crimes against humanity as far as I'm concerned.
I think that might be the worst thing he did with putting together effectively yesterday, being second. Fortunately, 350,000 people didn't die yesterday. Otherwise, that would have been first. But it's just
sucks, dude.
It sucks so bad. And I don't know. I get in this. I got to be honest with you. I get in this. I don't know if I'm optimistic or naive, but I think about that message that Joe Biden has of uniting people and of bringing the country back together after one of the most divisive periods. And I get hopeful, that, these people will see the error of their ways and change. But then I remember that this shit has been happening for forever. And it's not going to happen that way. It's just not. And there's always going to be people that feel like this. And so I just feel like I ping pong back and forth between like being optimistic and like being like, well, then there's no way. It just doesn't work. You can't win.
Right.
You just can't win the game.
It's so complicated, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm not advocating for nihilism, but I'm saying if you think that the people yesterday and the people like them, which there's so many of them, are interested in reaching across the aisle, you're going to be wrong. You're wrong. That's it. They're going to do whatever Donald Trump tells them to do. They're going to think whatever he tells them to think. And that's the end of it. And
Yeah.
if you think Donald Trump is going to change, then you should probably just be institutionalized or something, because you're disturbed.
And he's probably not going away either.
Oh, of course not.
And Mitch McConnell right now, I mean, I really do think that the stimulus check was the straw that broke the camel's back and might have lost him the 2 Georgia runoffs. But in Mitch McConnell's head, you know what he probably says, honestly, is it's not worth giving them this money. I can win the midterms in 2 years. I can take back the Senate. I can block everything Biden does for those 2 years. I can beat Kamala in 2024, and I'll be done. That's how Mitch McConnell thinks. And then we just go right back to where we are today. And he might be right. He might be right. And that's the pessimistic side of me that says he might be right. And then it's just 2 years of hopefully real change. I mean, nobody's been able to really take control of the government like this, but
dude, I'm not holding my breath. I mean, we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it, but I don't think Joe Biden is going to be a strong leader. I just don't.
I don't think so either. I think that he's put together a really good group, though.
We'll see. I mean, but he has no interest in universal health care. I don't think he has any interest in any form of UBI in any capacity, two things which are the most important issues post-COVID.
And he'll lean less progressive as his presidency continues.
Stacking the Supreme Court, which is something that he should definitely do, given how the Republicans have just poisoned the sanctity of it. I don't see him doing that.
So I don't know if I agree with stacking the courts. To what extent? Like how many are we talking? Are we talking adding 1? Are we talking adding 9? Are we talking doubling it? Are we talking adding a few?
Until it's at least bipartisan.
But that's the thing, right? Is that
does it end?
That's the thing that's confusing, though, is that partisan idea should not exist within the judicial system. So how?
Yeah, of
I
course,
know,
yes.
I know it obviously does. But how do you? Because I mean, you have to register Republican or Democrat when you're in the House or the Senate or running for president. So it's cut and dry what party you belong to. With the judicial system, it's not like that. Obviously, you're just on the judicial system, but we all know who the conservative judges are. We all know who the liberal judges are. What's the bifurcation between the two, and how do you ensure for the long term that that's not, the loophole of, oh, well, it's, it looks bipartisan because it's whatever, what do you attach to it to actually make sure that exists?
Whether you're interested in defending the civil liberty of regular people or the liberty of billionaires to loot and
I know what you're saying, but do you think that if you asked a judge tomorrow, one of the chief justices, I can't even think of any of the conservative ones right now, this new lady, if you asked her tomorrow which of those two she was focused on when she was making judicial policy or whatever, or looking at a case, do you really think she would say, yeah, the second one?
It doesn't matter what she says because she's not a serious person. She's
how do you find them?
Her actions up to the point of becoming a Supreme Court justice. That's all.
No, I know what you're saying. I just think, I mean, maybe the partisan, angle on it is who who nominated them, who affirmed them, which party affirmed the candidate in the first place. You think the last 4 years, 3 justices were affirmed under a Republican president. So they're Republican. They're just called that. They're tagged with that because that's what they were voted in as. Maybe that's. I mean, I'm just talking about practically because I mean, laws need to be really literal. If you read laws, they're like super literal. That's their job, is to obviously interpret them because they're so short and literal. How do you even decide what the factors are? Because you and I might say something different, and you, me, and Mitch McConnell will definitely say something different about what party affiliation we would want them to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I just think that we need to examine their track record as closely as possible, and that's it. But that's just one of many things.
Yeah.
You know,
That's just the one that I agree with. The universal basic income, and probably universal healthcare either. Although I don't know exactly how it's going to be funded. Heard some thoughts. But the packing the courts one is the only one I don't understand because I'm not scared of them using UBI against me. I'm not scared of them using, universal healthcare against me. I'm worried about them using stacking the courts against me. And if that sets the precedent that the Democrats can stack the courts, we know how the Republicans are. They're going to stack the fucking courts.
It doesn't
even
matter
worse.
about setting precedents because the Republicans are playing by the rules. They're not concerned by the rules. They would have overthrown the democratically elected president if they had their way. They don't care. We don't. And I just think we need to stop acting like we need to try to get along with them. Because, dude, just to like bring it back to the personal, like I was saying today, dude, like I want to get my family to move out here with me,
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't want to go back to Florida. I don't want to coexist with these people.
Did you? Well, let's talk about that. I'm actually kind of interested to hear what you say, to kind of break away for a second. Did you feel that in Florida? Did you feel in Florida that you were surrounded by others that you didn't mesh with as well as here?
Not really, but I know that it exists, and I'm not going to deny that it exists. I want to live in a progressive city. I want to be around people that have the same interests that I do, interests in logic, reason, critical thinking, compassion, honesty. And in my opinion, the other party is disinterested in all of those virtues. So I don't want to exist with those people at all, really.
Yeah, you want to hear something crazy? So when I was in Florida for Christmas, which we both were cleared to travel, when I was in Florida for Christmas time, me and my brother went to Homosassa, Florida, which sounds like it is. It's just like it sounds, or at least it's kind of by Brooksville. I don't know how much time you spent in Brooksville, but sort of in between, Gainesville and Odessa area. Certainly the boonies of Florida. And we went to this like bar area, and already I knew that Florida was going to be different about coronavirus, and about taking precautions. I'm really serious about precautions. I wear my mask a lot. I have hand sanitizer all the time. I personally take it really seriously, and so I already knew that Florida wasn't known for doing the same. And we got to the bar, and I couldn't believe it, but it was an outdoor bar, sure. Kind of like on a dock. So you've probably been to a bar like that where it's like on a dock, and so there's like a roof and it's outdoors, but it feels inside. I didn't see a single other person wearing a mask, staff included, which is shocking to me. I mean, we were at a bar and it wasn't crowded. There was probably 5-6 tables full, but the tables were all moving around, and everybody was interacting with each other as if they were maybe friends and stuff. So they would go from table to table. They were hugging, laughing, all without a mask with the staff. And It just blew my mind, dude. It blew my mind. It's just, I mean, I want to get back there. Don't get me wrong. Like I want to be back in that state, but we're just not even close. We're not even fucking close to being in that state. It's not gonna be summer either. So I just want to hunker down and do my job for the next, however many months and just get through this. I'm excited to get back there and I can't wait to hug people at other tables. But the fact that they were doing it then, it really just, it bummed me out. And I felt it then. I felt it then of, I don't want to be out here very much. Like I would love seeing my family and it's never enough time. It always flies by every single time. But I just always feel so eager to get back to the comfort of Colorado and just feel like I'm being around better people. I mean, from the airport to restaurants to grocery stores, every place I went, I could just feel it.
There or here or both?
More there. I would say I felt it more negatively there of just, just not feeling like it's the best environment, I guess. And maybe it's just that I just love Colorado, right? And I just love the people here. But I really felt it sometimes in Florida. Again, I mean, you know how it is. Seeing family's great, but it's just different, dude. It's just different.
Two different countries, man. That's all.
Isn't it crazy?
And I know which one I want to live in. So sucks.
Oh, dude, I know.
It's hard to keep the show silly when everything just sucks so hard. I mean, not everything, but just the.
No, I know.
Yesterday was disturbing.
No, and I think I mean, what happened yesterday is disturbing. The fact that hundreds of thousands of people have died on the president's watch, and he, continues to be indifferent towards it. It's really sad. The fact that people still think it's a hoax is really sad. The COVID stuff, I mean, bums me out to death. It's crazy. I can't believe it's been, I mean, we're not at a year yet. We still have a couple months, but we're going to get to a year and it's going to be just like this. So I don't know. It is hard to keep the show silly when yesterday happened. And on yesterday, I think that the most deaths ever from COVID happened on the same day. We won the Senate runoffs, obviously, which was nice, but I mean,
it's great. I just want to see what they're going to do with it.
Right. Exactly.
And I mean, we'll see. I'll believe it when I see it. That's all.
And I will say, I mean, I think that in the Senate, you need more than 51 votes. I don't really know exactly how it works for certain things. But I will say I feel more confident of Republicans voting Democratic than Democrats voting Republican. I think we pretty much have 50 votes. I think we just have it. I think it'll be really, really hard not to. So I think that we win effectively everything in the Senate. I think we win effectively everything in the House. I think we win effectively everything in the executive branch, which is really good. The only way we'll lose, maybe the only people I can see, falling off is maybe out of Democrats. I can see some Republicans doing is maybe some progressives that don't feel like the policy is progressive enough. I can potentially see that happening, but I would be surprised. I would be surprised if a Democrat went against the other 49 or the other 48 or even the other 47.
I'm excited though to see some real leadership for once.
Yeah, I know.
Because we haven't had a president certainly since the election. Seriously, what has Trump done since November 3rd other than just spread lies around
and play golf?
Yeah.
I know. No, I know. I mean, he's honestly managed to do a lot of damage with his time that he hasn't been spent on the presidency. So I kind of wish he was back, I guess, because I don't know. He's bad at both, dude. He's bad at not being president. He's bad at being president. So what the fuck's going to change on January 20th? That's the thing that scares me the most.
He'll be gone, dude. He won't have actual power. He won't have executive power. And if they ban his Twitter account, oh my God, dude, I'll be so happy.
Yeah, that's a good point. I am reminded of the Game of Thrones line, power resides where men believe it to be, which is.
Yeah, it shows you yesterday. I mean, the laws only mean as much as we agree that they do. And if there's someone to enforce them. Otherwise, because I mean, face it, like the president's a criminal. His family are all criminals. The people that are supporters of his. They're all criminals, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as the actual law is concerned. But will they face justice? Doesn't look like it.
Mm.
Which is a load of bull crap, in my opinion.
No, I know, dude. I know. It's
What else did you have on your agenda?
it's hard to be optimistic when we've seen what can happen in the 4 years. In terms of my agenda, I had a meta discussion reformat, which we've gotten to. We talked about the meta discussion the format.
Cross that off.
It's because of COVID. Obviously, we're doing a socially distant version for just a couple weeks here. I talked about our, because we obviously did the partition 2. We haven't recorded anything since the partition 2, so we haven't talked about.
I know, dude. I feel like I haven't seen you in a while.
I know,
we
dude.
talked,
I know.
for a little while the other day.
I know. I was just thinking about it last night because I haven't seen you. So it's January 7th today. I haven't seen you since the weekend before Christmas. So 2 weekends before Christmas. So I think it's been like a month.
I know, dude. We can't let this happen again.
Dude, never again. Never again. And video is not the same.
I know, dude. I called you hysterical the other day. Like, are we still friends? And
I know. And I said, I don't know. I don't know. Listen, here's the things I like. Here's the things I don't. Go work on this for a couple weeks, and then we'll get on the. We'll do video format. We won't get too close.
We'll try that out.
No, I'm just kidding, dude.
Dude, I think I'm gonna get Chipotle after this.
Really? They just came out with a new cilantro lime cauliflower rice. That's super good. I'm getting Chipotle, I think, on Saturday night.
Nice. So when can we start hanging out again, you think?
Well, it depends. Technically, starting on the 25th of January.
That's okay. Dude, this is going to be a hostile takeover by the Porchcast this year, I think. I mean, look at us, dude.
I know, dude.
Powerful,
we
dude.
fucking we have good mics. We have good gaffs.
We've got wheels.
We got wheels. We have segments sometimes. I didn't prepare anything in terms of like segments or anything tonight, did you? I figured we'd be talking about this a lot of the time. We still have a couple other things, but
whenever it's been a while, I know it's gonna be really easy because we just got a bottomless compost bucket to select content from.
So I will tell you one thing that happened in Tampa too. We brought River with us, the puppy, and we were just eating dinner. He was sitting under the like dinner table, and my brother's, I don't remember if I told you this story, but my brother's Mastiff walked in, like ran in. We did not know he was coming in at all. Ran in, ran straight to River, and River pissed himself right in the spot. You ever been that scared?
No, actually, that's not really my reaction to fear, is to pee or poo.
Me neither. I think it's just that maybe he was holding it and maybe it's not that you like pee, but you stop holding your pee. Like I think if I had to really, really pee and then I got scared, like think about if you were like on a long car ride and you finally got home and you were like running inside to pee and then somebody came out of the bushes with a knife. I'd probably pee my pants.
Yeah.
Just because I was holding all that pee in there. And
are you enjoying the pepperoni so far?
I'm enjoying the pepperoni so far. So yeah, I mean, report card on River. He's about 3 months old. He's really good at being potty trained. He goes outside. He's good at sleeping, which is good. He's horrible at biting, F in biting. He bites like a motherfucker, and he gets a C at barking. We're working on that. The biting, we can't do anything. He's just doing it. He just loves it too much. But the barking, I think we can work on.
Overall, though, sounds pretty good. Do you like taking him for walks?
We have a couple of parks right by us. It's a little cold. I do wish that I do like it better when I take him out when the weather's nice.
Oh, I mean, everything is better when the weather is nice.
Yeah, as you can imagine. Have you been liking seeing some of the snow come around?
I don't. Let's not do this.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're not supposed to talk about the weather.
Yeah, I think we're better than that. We don't even have to talk about anything, honestly.
It was interesting. One of the things that you pointed out specifically about wanting to talk to is the Nashville bombing, which maybe
like a long time.
yeah, it seems like a long time ago, and it seemed like nobody cared. Like it kind of just came and went for me. No offense, but like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What even happened? I don't even really think I know. I mean, I like feel like I saw like just like one Reddit video of it, just like that one country that building blew up, wherever that was. That was one of the craziest fucking things I've ever seen.
But like when every day is crazy, it's kind of hard
I
to
know.
stand out.
How were like your holidays?
There
were a few of them.
My New Year's was really fun.
Mm-hmm.
I was just in a good mood because I normally hate New Year's.
I know. I don't have, because what was that 2 New Years ago? It must have been.
Yeah.
It must have been 2019.
Which like that was
into
a combination of things. Just a terrible New Year's celebration, but also I was just having a really tough time in my personal life as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
I actually think it was
2019,
2018,
dude. Best year of my life.
Mm-hmm.
Up to that point. 2020, I hung in there. 2021 also going to be the best year in my life, I think.
Mm-hmm. Odd, dude. Odd years. Wait, hold on though. I think that was 2018 New Year's that was bad. 2019 New Year's we did something different, but I don't remember what we did.
Oh, I was with a woman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we weren't hanging out.
Oh, I know where I was. I was at that house all by myself. That's right. So that would be 2018 New Year's with when winter was there. It was the coldest day on record ever anywhere, I think. I think is what I heard. And there was negative Ubers. Like people were paying to be able to drive Uber or something. I don't
know. What else is going
on? I mean, how do you feel? No, I'm serious. How do you feel about 2021? Like how like do you feel that like that feeling of like going into a new year, and like do you feel that thing?
No, but I'm just not an overly sentimental person. However, I do recognize that we're going to have vastly different leadership in the country. The coronavirus pandemic is going to get better this year. And so as far as the country and the world at large, I think things are going to get better this year. But in my personal life, I'm committed to and confident about this being the best year so far, and hopefully they'll continue to go in that direction.
Because you kind of do have to be. I mean, you really do have to be intentional. I think that it gives. I mean, I don't know. I don't. People like talk shit about the new year that it's just another day, but I do think it gives you the opportunity to be intentional. I think that's really important, to just be intentional about like what you want to work on.
But the problem with us is that we're both like, we don't need an arbitrary date to start something. If we want to do something, then we're just gonna do it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that my toughest thing, I'm fucking lazy, dude. I'm lazy.
No, you ain't.
Oh, dude, I love just sitting around.
Oh, of course. I mean, it's the best, but you know, you're not actually lazy.
You know what I've been starting to do a lot of?
What?
TikTok.
Looking at them or making them?
Looking at them.
Really? Is there anything good on there?
Bro, I laugh harder at TikTok than I think I do anything else.
We should make TikTok, dude.
Dude, I think we would do really good TikToks.
Because there's part of me that's like, that's stupid, and then there's part of me that's like, I need to keep my finger on the pulse, dude. And TikTok is what's hot right now.
You know who was ahead of its time? Various Characters 67. Various Characters 67 would fucking crush TikTok.
Dude, but the thing is Various Characters 67, just like the Porsche gas, is all dependent on silliness, which is hard to maintain.
Yes.
I mean, it not for me, but like culturally, it's hard to maintain. I'm not sure what I was trying to say, but it's hard to be silly sometimes. But
yeah, I think I think it's personally difficult to maintain silliness all the time.
Various Characters 67 is just my it was a side project that I had for a little while where I expressed my I don't even know what, but just random thoughts.
That was like early quarantine times, I feel like. Or has various characters 67 been going
No,
on even longer than that?
it's a 2019 thing for
Oh
sure.
my goodness.
Yeah.
I look back at like early quarantine sometimes. Like there's albums and like songs and stuff that remind me of like early quarantine. I think that I'll always probably attach Yoshimi to like the beginning of quarantine. Like it feels like super early quarantine times. I remember listening to it a lot in quarantine. Like I don't know. I try to think about the bright side sometimes that way. I'm not the best at it, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, like I did okay, but like it's more than a lot of people could say, you know,
I know.
which
I
is
know. I
the
feel bad
sad
about
part.
that. Do you feel guilty about that?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to you the other day about how I feel guilty a lot about how privileged of a life that I have, but what am I don't know. What am I supposed to do, man?
I mean, so it's like the old like I don't know if your parents ever said this, but the old like the starving kids in Africa or stuff like that. I don't know if your parents ever brought that stuff up. My parents used to bring that stuff up. Not necessarily starving kids in Africa, but they would compare us to other people. And I would be like, okay, but what about, I didn't know who Kim Kardashian was at the time, but I'd be like, what about Kim Kardashian? She's doing X, Y, and Z. Like if we're comparing to things, so
Right, but
you're always better than somebody.
of course, but my point being that there's people that uh you know, they can't walk around and feel the level of peace that I do related to race, for example, you know, because racism is still a deeply, it's a huge issue in this country, which for the most part it doesn't affect us at all, but you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that's not fair, but that's just, we were just born that way, you know?
No, I know that. I think about that a lot, actually, of just like, I think it's sometimes hard to know like how to be better, I guess is how I think about it a lot, as I feel a lot of pressure to be better and like a lot of pressure to take advantage of, I guess, the privilege. Like, I don't know. What are you supposed to do? Like, how are you supposed, like, I feel bad and I relate so much that like, but what are you supposed to do? Like you said,
We
like
need to be allies to disenfranchised people and be aware of these things. As far as, you know, our time and money, those are also things that are valuable. I know I can speak for both of us. Our time is pretty much accounted for most of the time. Um, so I don't know. It's hard, man.
yeah.
Um, yeah, and not just being white, but being born cool,
Yeah,
handsome,
funny, good at
and
guitar.
funny. Yeah.
You're the best guitarist on the Porchcast, I think. Although I'm the best hockey player on the Porchcast.
I don't know, dude. You
You
haven't
think that I
seen.
can give you a run for your money on that guitar?
I don't know, dude. You know what I want to do? I want to learn how to ski this year.
Like snow ski?
As opposed to what?
To water skiing.
Yeah,
I don't know
I
why
want
you'd
to learn how
water
to
ski in
ski,
Colorado,
dude.
but
I wanna be one of those people on the mountain, dude.
do you want to do it like now, like in the first couple of months here, or do you want to do it like at the end of next year or at the end of this year?
I could do it now.
It's fun. You should do it, dude.
Dude, the other day I was walking around and I was like, all I want to do is just like glide down a mountain right
But you want to
now.
ski versus snowboard?
Just in virtue of having heard that skiing is easier to pick up
Mm.
than snowboarding.
That's definitely true. The only good thing about snowboarding is that we know more, like everybody we know snowboards. So you would have more people to teach you. I mean, I don't know if like I don't know if John or Austin have skied a lot, but I know they've both snowboarded a lot. Me and Gabby haven't snowboarded a lot, but we snowboard. So there's just more resources on the snowboarding side. You'd be able to team up with everybody if we had a big group together. That's the only
Yeah,
thing
and
about
there's part
snowboarding.
of me that like when people talk about it, I'm like, I feel like I'm missing out. I know I'm missing out, but
Mm-hmm.
also it's like I need to face my fears, which
Were
is
you a good skateboarder?
I was okay at skateboarding. I could do a kickflip, which I think is like
Mm-hmm.
a good indicator of just like moderate skill.
I couldn't ollie.
That sucks, dude.
I could barely even like go on the skateboard, like how you just like kind of ride down the street. That was like the most advanced skateboarding I could do.
But I think the Porchcast and life in general should be about facing your fears and developing as a person spiritually. And yeah, man. New Year's resolutions, maybe learn how to ski or snowboard. Definitely read more books.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, man?
In terms of the new year, well, I made a pact that I was gonna do yoga every day, and then I didn't do yoga like the third day. But honestly, that's so much pressure. Like that's like it's literally. I mean, I'm actually kind of happy that I failed so early on because that's so much pressure. And like imagine getting to like November and having never missed a day. It's just a little bit too much pressure. But I really just this is probably too personal for the Porchcast, but I really want to just be kind every day, especially to myself of 2021. That's gonna be really, really tough to do, but that's kind of my goal is to just ease up a little bit on everybody.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's tough because not to make it about myself because I hear you, but I'm super hard on myself, dude. And like that's
Me
something
too.
I've been like confronting a lot lately. And then there's part of me that's like, dude, that's a pretty effective motivator a lot of the times, you know? But there's definitely a point where it's not productive.
Yeah, no, I know. And I feel guilt because that happens to me sometimes too, where I like maybe sadness or frustration or anger, whatever it is, lights a fire under my ass to use that expression. And sometimes I feel guilt about that. Like I feel guilt when sadness lights a fire under my ass because I feel like I should be rather than channeling it, I should be focusing it. I feel like I just channel it into just getting through the day. You know what I mean? Like just getting through or whatever, but I don't channel it into like thinking about how to make whatever is causing that in the first place better. You know what I mean? I just focus on ignoring it. Like I channel it all towards something else. I redirect it all.
Have you been meditating at all?
Not really, but I really do feel like, I mean, an hour of silent movement with meditative periods within in that hour of yoga is super beneficial still. I really, really do think that I've sort of flirted with meditation. I think that I only was able to do like 7 days consistently in a row for about 10 minutes each. And I enjoy yoga way more and think that I get just as much of the benefit personally.
Right, but it should be a in addition to
I
thing,
know.
which I don't know. I'm not trying to bust your bottom. I'm just saying that there is a difference between which there's a ton of value in doing yoga, but there's a difference between that form of meditation and, just sitting down for X amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you would benefit a lot from
I'll
that.
be honest. I was doing it a lot before I got the puppy. The puppy doesn't like the meditation so much. I mean, I had to put him in his crate for yoga, so I guess I could do the same thing for meditation. But it is hard for me. I have a very active they call it puppy brain sometimes in yoga. I have one of those for sure where I'm just like not able to still it.
Right. And dude, I still experience that, but when it was worse for me, one thing that helped me overcome it a lot is just asking myself, okay, what would I rather be doing right now?
Mm-hmm.
And okay, then it's like, why? It's like you, first of all, you set out to do this for a specific reason, so you should just do that. And also, yeah, just I like to remind myself, it's like, what would you rather be doing?
And I do think that I've had a lot of times, and maybe this isn't the point, but I still feel it, and I feel like it's a benefit. Like I've had times on the yoga mat where you're supposed to be, just like one pointed. And I've had times meditating where my train of thought got distracted. I started thinking about other stuff or whatever. Started thinking about life, started thinking about jobs, whatever the case may be. And I've come up with good ideas or good solutions or thought through things, more eloquently than I maybe would have had I not been in that state. And I know that's not necessarily the point, but I do feel like I've felt that sometimes where I'm able to approach situations or things in my life differently when I'm in that state.
Yeah, dude. And also another thing is like if you want to just sit there and be scatterbrain for
Mhm.
10, 15, 20 minutes, then just do that, man. I
That
still do that.
counts.
I still do that sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
I mean, I
Just
think
to try.
breaks. Yeah.
That's another big theme that I like to kind of remind myself is like even if things didn't work out the way you wanted them to, at least you tried, you
And
know?
and here's the thing. I really do feel like I've gotten a lot of experience with meditation. I really do. Um, you know, there's a lot of times where I'll do 10 minutes meditation right before I start doing yoga or 5 to 10 minutes right after. I've done, over probably I would say I did like a month experiment where I was trying to meditate as much as possible. 7 was the most days I got consistently, but I probably did like, I don't know, 20 to 25 days of a month. So pretty consistently for a month. I didn't feel differently one way or another. I feel differently if I haven't done yoga 100%. Like I can tell when I haven't done yoga, especially for a long time. But I don't know if I necessarily, and I know it's not like doesn't happen overnight. I don't know if I necessarily felt different or could like pinpoint a difference between days that I've meditated and days that I haven't. But 100% on the yoga side, I can.
Yeah, but I don't think it's about a specific day. It's about an overall
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
thing, which it's not the be all end all of existence, but from my personal experience and doing it religiously, I can say for sure that it's been a big benefit for me.
Do you think you've gotten better at being less scattered during it?
Oh, oh, certainly during the experience, but in general, I think I'm way more patient, uh, way better at articulating myself, and also the meditative mindset. Like going back to what you said about trying to get through things, it's like there's a skillfulness that I attach to everything, whether it's doing the dishes or you know shaving or brushing my teeth, which it's not all the time, but a lot of the time. Uh, because those are things you have to do a lot, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's like how much of your life is occupied by brushing your teeth or taking the trash out or doing the dishes or just taking a shower. It's a lot of time, dude. It's a lot of time in your life. So if you're like, all right, this is just a chore I need to get through, then that's one way of looking at it. But another way is like, all right, let me just do this as best as I can.
I was listening to your mom's house the other day. You just made me think of this. And Tom's dad said he was talking about something. He's like, I've pooped. I've taken 100,000 shits. And I was like, no, you have not taken 100,000 shits. But dude, he's not that far off. I mean, he's like he was like 67 at the time. And so how many days is that? How many times do you think you've shit a day for your whole life on average?
I mean, on average, probably one. But then that implies that there's days when I don't poo, which is untrue. But
Yeah.
there,
So maybe let's just say like
like
1.2 poops a day. 1.25, 1.25 poops a day.
that's a good number.
1.25 poops a day. So for us, we've pooped about 11,400 times. See, that was the weird thing is that Tom's dad said he pooped 4 times a day, which
How, and how many of those are really memorable for you?
but I'm just saying, dude. I mean, you would think I've gotten so good at it, but sometimes I still make mistakes.
Of course, but I'm saying that there's some experiences that need to stick out, you know, because when I was a kid, I was super averse to pooping anywhere but home, like a
Mm-hmm.
familiar safe bathroom.
How do you feel about that now?
I mean, I still hate it, but I'm just
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, I need to go and I'm going to try to mitigate the circumstance. I'm going to try to identify the lowest occupancy bathroom and go into the cleanest appearing stall.
Especially like on college campuses.
Oh yeah, dude. There was definitely some spots that.
Some gems at FSU.
Yeah, dude. But yeah, much less severe stress associated with the experience than when I was a kid.
That's good. That's good. I've never really felt that. I can poop anywhere. I can sleep anywhere.
That's interesting because that's one that's kind of flipped for me, is where I used to feel like I could sleep anywhere, and like I can, but it's like a much lower quality sleep now than at home.
No, I definitely. I guess I meant I could fall asleep anywhere, but I won't have a good night's sleep anywhere. That's for sure. I feel like I could fall asleep standing up, honestly.
Oh, dude, you're talking to the master.
Oh, dude, I know. My brother's pretty good at it too, dude. My brother has fallen asleep. Dude, my brother will fall asleep like nothing. Like a sack of potatoes.
So what's on the horizon for us?
Which part?
Just in general, like our friendship on mic, off mic.
I think that our friendship on mic looks good to me. We'll get through these socially distanced episodes. We'll get back to our normal scheduled programming. Maybe have a segments episode. I don't know. I think we can make some big upgrades to the Porchcast this year. I hope.
Yeah, but I still just want to hang out.
But
and,
that's
like,
what I was gonna say too. Is that we're gonna have plenty of time to hang out. We'll glass. We'll have Chipotle. We'll shrew potentially. We'll
make a few more partitions.
Make a few more partitions
Dude.
if we're so lucky.
I think that the podcast is just going to become the partition if we're lucky.
That's the only logical and desired outcome, if you ask me.
It's the logical conclusion to the Porchcast.
Yeah.
We are now at our best, and so the Porchcast is finished.
What would we release next?
The partition.
Oh yeah. The partition episode 1.
Which is actually episode 3.
Yeah. And then we could do like a partition episode where we just do segments.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's still the Porchcast,
right?
In spirit, just in virtue of it being us. But
we'd have to get a new logo.
Yeah, I'm ready
Instagram.
for that. I'm ready for a new logo.
Just so season 3 would be really brief of the Porchcast. It's the shortest season yet.
That's what you call, dude, rapid expansion. Exponential growth.
We would be able to not always be on the porch. We could go to a studio, or we could still be on the porch. But dude, the partition hasn't.
Do whatever we want.
I know. And the partition has never taken place on a porch.
Yeah, we're just boundless in possibility.
Yeah.
So how long have we been doing this?
About an hour.
Huh.
Yeah. I feel bad that we had to talk about the doom and gloom, but I think that when you start talking about politics, then you have responsibility to speak when historic moments happen. And I think we've seen that happen.
Yeah, it's like, dude, I wish the Porchcast. I mean, I'm kind of conflicted. I wish the Porchcast can just be like us goofing around the entire time, but I do enjoy having somber conversations with you.
So. Me too. I think it's important to talk about, and it helps that we are on the same side so that there's no defection.
Dude, powerful allies.
But
if I disagree with you on something, it's not that big of a deal.
And I still, the jury's still out, no pun intended, on my thoughts on packing the court.
We'll see. It's something that's probably not going to happen anyway. Yeah. All I'm saying is that I just want. I'm a ends justify the means kind of person, I guess.
Yeah, I think that they are the
if
same way.
In 2 years there was no more electoral college, we had universal health care and UBI, I don't care how many Republicans' feelings got hurt in the process.
Yeah, no, I get that.
Because they're very fragile, dude. You know?
Yeah. No, I get that, but they would probably say the same thing.
Yeah, exactly, which is why it doesn't matter that we stoop to their level.
That's true.
Essentially. which
You're happy
what
to
are you
do.
doing for dinner?
What am I doing for dinner?
Yeah.
That's a good question. I think that tonight's clear out night, so we just have like frozen chicken nuggets, frozen dumplings, just kind of clear out all the food that we have before the weekend starts. I think I have some Brussels sprouts.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe invite me over for dinner sometime.
I will. Now that dude, we upgraded our like living room now, because like we got the record player. I definitely will. We're actually like finally feeling more comfortable about our place, and like we can have guests. I think in the past it's just been super boring, and there's just been
Are you gonna start collecting
nothing
records?
going on. I think so. It's expensive, so we have like 5 right now. 5.
It's probably a little easier when you only listen to one band.
Bro, I know. I already have one Pine Grove record. I have another one on the way.
Which one?
I have Marigold, and then I bought their like new live album that's coming out in February, Amperland. I bought that. It hasn't come out yet, obviously, so I'll get it in a.
You pre-ordered it.
I pre-ordered it, yeah, for like middle of February, I think.
That's cool.
We have 5 records.
Nice, dude. I've got a few also, and I was thinking about starting to up the collection, but then it's like,
It's just expensive. That's the only
why
scary
do I
thing.
feel the need to just have a bunch of stuff?
Yeah.
When
you can just plug an aux cord into speakers and it sounds the same. But it's fun. It's fun to have the record and to
right, to
put it
support
on.
the artist.
Support the artist.
Physical representation of the thing that you like.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like these are my favorites. These are all my favorites right here. I bought them.
Yeah.
Still.
With your own money.
With my own money that I worked for myself. So but what do you think? You wanna get out of here?
It's not that.
Oh, okay.
I'm so hungry, dude. I'm literally hungry. And also like I like this format, dude. It's cool.
I like this format too. And we could always do this format together.
Yeah.
Like in this,
so yeah.
Or we could hang out afterwards.
But yeah, I'm also like how easily we were able to just throw this thing together, dude.
I know, dude. I know.
So effortlessly competent.
Yeah, we're able. You know what they call us? Adaptable.
Yeah.
They adapt to anything they say about us. Fluid. Wet. Surly, if you will. We love it.
All right.
What do you think? You have any final thoughts?
I'm gonna get Chipotle.
What are you gonna get? Tell the people your order.
Burrito with white rice, black beans, cheese, sour cream, guacamole, corn salsa, hot salsa, and steak.
Oh, good choice.
And I feel pretty strongly about that.
No, that's a really, really good lineup. I'm excited for you. I'm kind of jealous. I haven't had Chipotle in a while, but I only have to wait a couple more days.
All right, man.
All right, I will see you on the other side at some point.
Just, hit me up. You have my information.
I got the digits. I got your digits, boy. This has been the Porchcast. We'll see you guys next time.